We read the same book today. Naki da da. Happy New Year, folks! Happy 2021. We made it. Nobody blew up at 11:59, so that is really, really exciting. So, I'm back here with you guys. I know that the last time we met, I told you that I would be taking a few weeks off. See what happened was, right?
You're a liar. You're a liar.
Things were going really well until I got in the shipment of my next books for the year. The books came in, I took them out the box, and just couldn't wait to start reading them. I couldn't wait. I wanted to, but I could not wait. They were calling me. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just start reading. But then I'm not going to, post no videos about it. I'm going to just read it. And then we'll do videos later after my little break is over. But as soon as I finished reading it, I wanted to get on here and make a video and tell you guys about it because that's just what I do. It's what I do. But I guess it goes back to the old adage that they say, when you do something you love, you never have to work a day in your life, even though I have a full-time 9-to-5 job. Anywho, so I know I didn't announce the next book that I was reading because the aforementioned break that didn't happen was supposed to happen, but whatever, we're here now. So what I've been doing is I decided that I wanted to do 2020 based on different genres. So I really wanted to explore some different genres that I don't get to read as much and take some time reviewing the authors and the books and things like that. So I'm starting out with like 4 books per genre. We'll see how that works out, if I need to add more or take away some if we're droning on too long with one genre. But for now, that's the plan. Let's see how long we stick to that. So I posted a little teaser on my Instagram about what my first genre was going to be for 2021. And drum roll, please. We're doing mysteries and thrillers. Dun, dun, dun. Who done it? Who did it? Tell me who did it. We're going to figure out some stuff. There's going to be some murders. There's going to be some disappearances. We're not going to know where people are until they tell us. It's going to be a lot. Thrillers and mysteries are some of my favorite genres, but I haven't had the chance to read them over the past year as much as I would like. You want to know why? It's a very specific reason why. Because if you remember, last year I was doing my all Black everything, which means I only read books by Black authors or people of color. So what I came to find when I'm searching for books within the genre of mystery or thriller is underrepresentation. Like, come the hell on. It was so hard for me to find thrillers and mysteries written by Black people or people of color. Every place that I went or every list that I looked to, and I did a lot of research, the only ones that would come up is like Attica Locke. Have you read Attica Locke? Yes, I read Attica Locke. Stop telling me to read Attica Locke. There has to be other people that are doing work within this genre. So anyway, I kept doing my research and I was able to find a couple of Black authors to add into the mix. But we're doing all authors now. The gloves have come off. 2020, I represented for my people, and we're gonna keep doing it, making sure we're in the mix. But I read everything by everyone, so my reviews are gonna reflect that. So the book that I decided to start on this year was getting a lot of buzz last year. I love this author. I actually read several of her other books, so when this one hit the market, I was like, here we go. Let me jump into it because I know it's going to be amazing. So without further ado, I'm excited. I'm about to tell y'all what the first book of 2021 is that I've read. You ready? All right, we're going to do the preemptive drum roll, please. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. So this little nugget from this author, I've read The Third Wife, and I read another one of her books as well that I can't remember. Watching You. That's what it was. I read Watching You, which was excellent. I loved that. And The Third Wife was really captivating as well. So I was like, we're going to start the year off on a short thing. Oh, so we're gonna start this off with somebody I know is at least gonna like tantalize me a little bit. She gonna tantalize, she gonna titillate. She didn't disappoint. So let's get into it. So Then She Was Gone is a story that follows Laurel Mack. She is a mother whose daughter went missing when she was 16 years old. 15? Y'all know I'm bad with ages. The book follows Laurel Mack, whose 15-year-old daughter, Ellie Mack, went missing. Just all of a sudden, one day, she walked out the door to go to the library. Bless her little reading heart. And she never came back. So the story follows Laurel and kind of what happens after that. The story spans the 10 years after Ellie went missing. So we find out what kind of happened to Laurel. Laurel is, of course, married to Ellie's father, who is Paul. And then Laurel also has 2 other children that are older. So Ellie was her youngest. And then she has her daughter, Hannah, and her son, Jake, I want to say his name is. I believe it's Jake. I'm going to go with Jake. All right. So we get into what this family has been up to after they experienced this unspeakable tragedy that undoubtedly affected each one of them, but affected them in different ways. So that's where we start off with this. So it's kind of like, oh my God, you know, your typical somebody is missing. We got to find out what happened. Okay. After Ellie has been missing for about 10 years, her mother, Laurel, meets this guy, Floyd. It's really cute. They meet at like a bakery and they share some cake with each other. It's very, very endearing. Kind of like sweeps her off her feet, makes her feel things that she hasn't felt in so long, and they start a relationship. Floyd has one older daughter, and then he has a younger daughter who is about 9 years old, and her name is Poppy. Poppy is brilliant and sweet, and she has a striking resemblance to Laurel's missing daughter, which is weird. So we start to get that, and your brain starts working immediately. You're already like, what's going on with this? What's happening? Why does this baby girl look like Ellie, who went missing? Very strange. So for me, I was like, either mom has completely lost her mind or something else really nefarious is afoot, and especially involves this man. So we get a really great opening, really strong. It pulls you in. It makes you invested. You're like, we have to figure this out. And we learned right off the bat that Laurel has a favorite. Amongst her 3 kids, Ellie is her baby girl. She loves Ellie to death. So, and she don't make no bones about it. It's not like they kind of put little nuggets throughout the story that make you realize that she loved Ellie most. No, she full out says she was my favorite.
First of all, he is the favorite, right?
Let me read you this passage where she talks about Ellie. Okay, so here we go. That was how she once viewed her perfect life. As a series of bad smells and unfulfilled duties, petty worries and late bills. And then, one morning, her girl, her golden girl, her last-born, her baby, her soulmate, her pride and her joy had left the house and not come back. So immediately, as a parent, y'all know I got 2 children. I got 2 kids. Immediately, as a parent, I was like, "Oh, you can't say that out loud. You can't just come off the bat saying that one of your kids is your favorite." But then, side note, we should be able to. Parents have favorites. They do. I don't care if it hurts your little heart. Parents have favorites. Society does not allow us to say that. You're supposed to be like, "Oh, I love all my kids the same. Oh, they're all my precious little baby angels." But that's not the way it is. Always have one that you're like, "Oh, I love these 2. They're completely normal. But something wrong with that little one over there. That third one, something a little off." But y'all don't allow us to say it. And we should be allowed to say it. And you know why we should be allowed to say it? Because as soon as something goes wrong and one of these kids turn into damn Ted Bundy and kills a whole bunch of people, what's the first thing they say? "Oh, how come the parents say no? The parents couldn't see nothing was off with that little dude." Yes, we saw it from the beginning. We knew it, but y'all wouldn't let us say it without shaming us. If y'all would let us openly say which of our kids we don't like, the society would be a lot better. A lot more people would be alive right now. Laurel was like Ellie was my baby. Y'all too, I'll still raise y'all and feed y'all, but Ellie was her baby. And they had a really, really intense bond. And from the onset, with her saying something like that was her soulmate, that Ellie was her soulmate, I'm like, how is this woman's other kids? Like, how are her other kids doing? How are they freaking coping with knowing that their mother lost like her beloved child? They can't be okay. So I was kind of like, oh, maybe one of the other kids did it if she was acting strange. You open it and it's like you immediately have many suspects. There could be quite a few people who did this and quite a few reasons why it happened. The reason why it happened turns out being wild. Wild. She gave us a masterclass in sociopathic behavior, in stalking, and all of it. It wasn't just your typical boy stalking girl or girl stalking boy or anything like that. It got so mixed up and so crazy in there that it was like, oh, when a mind is really sick, it's really sick all around. It's not just sick in one direction. Everything starts to crumble and fall apart. And reading it was infuriating, and reading it was absolutely wild. So what didn't I like? So this may be something that bothers other people. It didn't bother me so much, but I know it may be, off-putting, so I'm gonna mention it here. So you get to figure out kind of who done it and what happened fairly early in the story. I know with most mysteries and thrillers, the whole, shebang isn't really revealed until the last maybe, 3 chapters or so, last 100 pages. But this gives it to you fairly early, which you may be thinking, oh, well, that freaking spoils it. Like, if I know who did it and I know what happened early on, then what's the need to read the rest of the book? You will be mistaken. You will be very mistaken. Okay? Because what she did, which I think was really skillful on her part, she told us, the reader, what happened, but she did not tell the main character what happened. So while we know, the main character still has absolutely no idea what happened to her daughter. And so she maintains the suspense of the story by us wanting to know how the main character, Laurel, will react once she finds out exactly what happened to her daughter. So you're still like, even after you find out, you're like, how is she gonna take this? Which I think was really just masterful. Overall, I would give this book 3.75 stars, which is really strong for me. Being a perfect novel is not easy. It's not easy. So what I'm going to do is a new segment that kind of brings you guys into my mind a little bit. And what I usually do after I read a really good book, or any book for that matter, even if I hated it, I usually go online and try to read reviews. And what I'm looking for is to see if anybody else agreed with me, with my take, if any people took issue with the same things I took issue with, if people cried during the same parts I cried with. I'm just looking for somebody who can tell me that we are together, Makidara. We read the same book today, Nakidada. Let's go look at some reviews and see what other people had to say about Then She Was Gone. Hey y'all, it's me. I'm coming at you from an undisclosed location. So I've been trying to do these without giving spoilers, because y'all know spoilers are in my heart. They're the lifeblood of everything that I do. But I know how much people frown upon having something spoiled for them. I get it. I totally get it. But I feel the need to talk about what be happening in some of these books. But is that the feds? But I don't want to get in trouble either. So I'm going to tell y'all what happened in the book on the low, just so y'all know. You feel me? And if you the feds, then you go ahead and you skip ahead.
Game over.
But the rest of us, we're going to talk about what happened in these here books. All right, so we're going to talk about what happened in this book. Then She Was Gone. So, kick it. Laurel winds up meeting the dude Floyd just by happenstance. The happenstance meeting that ain't really happenstance at all, right? So she meets him and they start dating or whatever. Like I said, the kid looks a lot like Ellie. Kid looks a lot like Eddie. So I was like, was this man, creeping with little old Ellie, little 15-year-old Ellie? I was like, oh, what you doing? I was like, that's not okay. That's not proper behavior. I was like, oh, scandal. Come to find out, check. Before Ellie disappeared, she was studying for her, I guess they're like SATs. They're the equivalent of SATs here in America. But in Europe, I think they call it GCSEs or something like that. So she needed help studying for that because she was struggling a little bit with her math. They get this tutor who's cool at first. She's a little quirky, a little weird, but she's cool. And Ellie is learning a lot from her. But as time goes on, Ellie starts realizing that this girl, something's a little bit off about her. The tutor starts bringing her, let me fix my stuff. The tutor starts bringing her little gifts, starts talking to her about life. Like, life is sad, ain't it? Some of us get what we want and other people just never get what they want. She's saying little weird stuff like that to Ellie. So Ellie was like, you're making me hella uncomfortable. So she went to her mom, and instead of telling her mom what was happening, she just told her mom that she didn't want the tutor anymore. So her mom was like, all right, bet. Told the tutor, thank you so much for your services. We will not be needing you to return to this here abode. So the tutor leaves or whatever. Come to find out, the tutor had been stalking this dude named, what? Floyd. Right? She had been stalking this dude named Floyd. Floyd is a really talented mathematician, and he had written this book, Once in a Blue Moon, that, got him some notoriety. From that, the girl Noelle, the tutor, started following him, making sure that they met up with each other. And, him being a hot-blooded man, even though he wasn't interested in her like that, he started having sex with her. She ended up getting pregnant by him 2 times, and she lost the baby both times that she got pregnant. But she realized that whenever she got pregnant, Floyd was a little bit more, caring for her, let her stay over. Usually he would be like, hit it and quit it. All right, you gotta go home now. But he would let her stay over and stuff like that. So she's like, I know, I just need a baby. If we have a baby, then Floyd's gonna love me, he gonna be with me, and everything's gonna be okay. But she knows that she can't carry a child. Every time that she tries to carry a child to term, she has a miscarriage. So she's infatuated with Ellie a bit, and she's infatuated with this boy Floyd, and that's when she gets this idea. So she kidnaps Ellie, locks Ellie in her basement, and then impregnates Ellie. Ellie has the baby. And after she has the baby, girlfriend just stops going down to the basement, stops feeding her. She's overwhelmed and stressed. She's like, I'm a single mom now. I got a kid. And of course, after about 6 days or so, Ellie dies from starvation and I think an infection, because she got an infection after she had the baby in a basement, of course. So Ellie's dead. And has been dead for some time. But the weird girl, Noelle, keeps living in the same house with this decomposing body in the basement and raising this kid. Crazy. That was the sad part. That was really sad to just read how Ellie just sort of passed away down there after having this random baby. She was 15. She was a virgin. She never had sex before. But here she is. She had this baby. The baby was ripped away from her, and then she was just left to be infected and die. Like, talk about craziness. Floyd ends up finding out about everything that happened because Noelle is not fit to be a mother. Eventually, Noelle starts neglecting the baby, and she's trying to be a good mother, but it's not really working. So Floyd is like, listen, give me my baby and you can go on about your way. Like, I wasn't even feeling you anyway. I just need you to leave. Noelle is like, yeah, sure. Okay, we'll share the baby, or you can have the baby most of the time, whatever. But that's not her plan. She plans to take the baby and run. But Floyd knows her. Floyd knows that she's a little weird and knows that she probably got something up her sleeve. So he hides the baby at one of his friend's house and invites her over to tell her, you're not going to see the baby anymore. Kick rocks. You need to get help. Stay out of me and my baby's life. She gets mad and tells him, here's the kicker. That's not my baby, and it's not your baby neither. She tells him that she kidnapped Ellie, and that she had got Ellie pregnant by some sperm that she got off the interwebs. So the Poppy wasn't Noelle's baby. Poppy wasn't even Floyd's baby. But here Floyd is raising this little girl. By the time Noelle told him, revealed the whole thing, the baby was damn near 3-4 years old. So he is like furious. He winds up leaping on her and wrestles her around, ends up knocking her over. Noelle hit her head and she dies. She dies. And he hit her body. He buried her body underneath a freaking flower pot. and Stone Cold moves on with his life. But he felt really guilty about the fact that he knew that she had kidnapped this girl, Ellie. And so he went and found Laurel through the newspapers and stuff like that. He found out where she lived, and that's how he happened to be in the coffee shop with her. Now, I thought that he was going to try to kill Laurel. That's what I thought. I was like, he's going to try to kill Laurel because he actually loved Poppy. Even after he found out that she wasn't his daughter, he still raised her, and he raised her really well. So I was like, he's going to get rid of Laurel so that he can keep Poppy, you know, but that ended up not being his plan. He actually wanted to give Poppy to Laurel as a penance of sorts. He felt like that was the last thing of her daughter that existed on this earth, and he really wanted her to have it. But he felt like the whole thing was his fault for even getting involved with Noelle and everything like that. So he had some guilt that he was holding on to, and he wanted to find her to kind of make things right. So in the end, he sort of just left. He left a note with Laurel explaining everything and telling her that Poppy was actually her granddaughter, and kind of leaving them to build a relationship with each other. He left and ended up killing himself in his car. He felt guilty about it. Ciao. Let me fix my wig. Ciao. Book was absolutely crazy. That poor baby dying that way. Just dying in the basement on her own is absolutely insane. Laurel still got a piece of her daughter. She still got, you know, someone to raise and someone to have a second chance with. Because like I said, her and her other kids, she didn't quite treat them right. So they didn't have such a strong relationship. So she got a chance to kind of repair that and kind of do this mother thing all over again. So I feel happy having told you what happened. So go on about your life. Tell me what you thought. I mean, people said that wasn't thrilling. You're wrong. You're wrong. All right, I'm going to turn this back over to Athena so she can continue to do the rest of the professional stuff, because you know I ain't going to do it. All right, y'all. Bye. So again, I haven't looked at any of these, and I won't moving forward, so I can have a genuine reaction to see if I was on or off with this. Okay, see? So first, I'm seeing on Goodreads that the book got 4.03 overall ratings. So that's pretty much right in there with my 3.75. Is not far off at all. All right, y'all. Sorry, my camera was being extremely anti-Black, and I have no idea why, but it was not letting me be great. Okay, so this review says that, so missing person tropes are common in mysteries and thrillers, and the theme has been written and explored in many predictable ways, but also many clever, even shocking ways. But no matter how it's presented, is a scenario that never fails to draw me in. Very true. I agree. Missing people, mysterious murders, and love triangles. Some people are tired of the love triangle. I'm not. Keep love triangle in me, and I will keep. That sounds dirty. Love triangles at me, and I'm gonna keep reading them no matter what. So I agree. Anyway, back to the review. She says, but I must say, this novel puts an entirely new and fresh spin on the missing persons mystery. And it does, because like I said, it brings in a whole lot of familial stuff, and explores relationships and connections and how we treat people, period, and how that has an effect, you know, no matter if there's trauma involved or not. So agreed. I agree. All right, let's find another one. This one says, are you freaking kidding me? Holy shit. Touche, girl, touche. I wasn't sure I was going to love this because the pacing felt a little slow at the beginning, but it blew me away. So sinister. Very freaking sinister. Partway through and like had to tell my story. Tell the story to my husband. He's not like an avid reader. So I was like, you have to hear this. You have to hear this plot. And he was like, what? He was like, that's wild. I was like, isn't it? So yeah, it's really sinister, and it kind of, yeah, she was right. I agree with her. Good job, girl. Good job on your review. And I love the holy shit. Love it. All right, let's get into another one. Now let's go to some 1 stars. The 1 stars are always really funny as hell to me. So let's read some 1-star reviews and see what people didn't like. Okay. So this one review said, it's quite obvious that the UK standards of shocking differ extremely wildly from, thank you, Brooklyn Sirens, differ extremely wildly from American standards, because I saw the twist coming a mile away. So just because you saw the twist coming a mile away, it means that people in Europe aren't shocked by things that happen in America. And you're reaching, girl. You reach. You reach with that one. I don't think that's true. Yeah, the story does take place in Europe, but I think it's not necessarily twisty. If you're looking for twisty, it's not that, but it definitely still is shocking and, you know, leaves a bad taste in your mouth for sure. I saw this twist coming a mile away. We all did, girl. We all did, sis. Because I recall, it wasn't even because of the book. She said, because I recall seeing a similar plot on an old Law & Order Special Victims Unit episode nearly a decade ago. Okay. So what we're not going to do is judge people based on that. First of all, Law & Order has been on the air for about 47 decades. I think they started somewhere after Jesus' birth, and they've been going strong to date. Okay? So we cannot judge people based on what Law & Order did or did not cover. They've covered it all. And they even steal some of their plot lines from books and from current events. So it's a circle. It's a circle. You understand? It just comes back. So, I mean, that's not completely fair. So I don't agree with her. I don't agree. This one, let's go to another one. She said, I don't know what to say about this book. I'm just so disappointed and resentful. The worst thing for me was that it isn't even a thrilling or suspenseful story, just a really, really sad one. Okay. All right. I partially agree with her. It wasn't necessarily thrilling. It was mysterious and it was suspenseful. So I disagree with that fact. It was suspenseful, but not necessarily thrilling because you found out what happened fairly early on. But for me, that didn't detract from the suspenseful aspect of it. Like I said, we, the reader, found out what happened very early on. But the main character, Laurel Mack, she still did not know what was going on. We had to watch her kind of figure this thing out and see how she would react to it, how her family would react to it, how her boyfriend, the new boyfriend, Floyd, and everything happened from there. So that's interesting to me. I don't know about you, but it was really sad. It was really sad. You know, when you kind of unfurl the story and look at it, and certain points of it were really definitely tugs at your heart or stabs at your heart, for a better to use the term, use a different term. It definitely does. But I mean, I think that's a part of a good book. I mean, a story that allows you to feel a sustained emotion throughout the story is good. Like, she thinks she did a bang up job, and like I said, difficult topics. So I think there was some contemporary fiction elements mixed in with it as well. So that was good for me. I found it to be okay. But I think if you're looking for just, oh shit, I didn't see that coming, maybe this is not the book for you. So I'll give her that. I'll give you that, reviewer, 1-star reviewer. Okay. So that's what people thought about Then She Was Gone. If you want to believe them, then believe them. But for me, I'd recommend it. I say if you're looking for a good book that you want to jump into and not be bored with it, Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Thanks. Without further ado, I would like to introduce what my next book is. So funny thing, I keep my books on my desk, my to be read pile on my desk, so I don't forget what I have already read and what I have coming up. And my husband, when he walked by my desk, he saw these 2 books and was like, yo, did you buy the same book twice? I was like, no, I didn't. He was like, these 2 books, they're very similar and you'll see why. So drum roll, please. Next book is And Now She's Gone by Rachel Housel Hall. So if you can see, okay, look, y'all. Look. And now she's gone, and then she was gone. My husband thought I was just reading the same book. He was like, your book buying has gotten out of hand because you're just buying the same shit over and over again. But no, this is a completely different book. And I chose it, as I said, I had to look far and wide to find thrillers and mystery novels by Black authors. And so this author is Blickety Black. Yay. So I was happy to find her book and ordered it. And I haven't read any, pages of it, so I really don't know what to expect. And I have never read anything from this author before. So this will be my first time kind of experiencing her writing. But other than that, give me my dramatic stuff and we'll get to the blurb. All right, ready? Dramatic stuff. You slipping. All right, you slipping. Here we go. Isabel Lincoln is gone. But is she missing? It's up to Grayson Sykes to find her, although Gray is reluctant to track down a woman who may not want to be found. Gray's search for Isabel Lincoln becomes more complicated and dangerous with every new revelation about the woman's secrets and the truth she's hidden from her friends and family. Featuring 2 complicated women in a dangerous cat and mouse game, And Now She's Gone explores the nature of secrets and how violence and fear can lead you to abandon everything in order to survive. So that's why I picked up this book. One of the reasons why I picked it up is because it seems to have a little bit of a different take on the whole missing person thing. I think a lot of novels who give us missing person kind of hint at maybe they ran away, but it's never, they didn't run away. They're going to wake up dead somewhere. They didn't run away. So why they throw it in there like maybe they just left, you always know that that's not the truth. But with this book, it seems like sis may have actually just left. And that leads me to wonder why. Like, why would you just up and leave your entire life behind? It had to be something going on there. So, And Now She's Gone by Rachel Housel Hall will be my next book. Have you read this? Have any of you guys seen it? I think I saw it on Amazon is where I saw it. If you read it, do you like it? What are your feelings? Have you read anything else from this author? I don't know if this is like her debut novel, but oh, no. It seems like she has quite a few. Okay, yeah. So if you've read this, any of her stuff before, let me know what you think of her. If you want to read this book with me, read it with me, and we can come back and chat about it, see what I thought, and we'll kind of take it from there. Okay, so I'll be back with a review of And Now She's Gone. It feels so good to be here with you. Yes, this was fun. Thank you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to reviewing And Then See, I'm already doing. I said And Then She Was Gone. I'm combining these 2 books. And Now She's Gone. This is gonna be a long 2 weeks. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Have a good one.